Hi everyone, welcome to today's yoga class. So today's class is a prenatal yoga class. So if you are pregnant, great class for you. We're going to make sure that we're staying away from any kind of twists, and we're also going to be staying away from any movements that require you to lay on your belly to make sure that we're protecting baby. Just like with any exercise program, please just make sure you check with your physician to make sure it is safe for you to do yoga or any other type of exercise regimen. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. For today's props, yoga mat, as always. If you have a pillow, I just grabbed this one from my bed. A pillow is a wonderful prop, especially when we're doing our shavasanas. So grab yourself a pillow if you don't already have one. If you don't have one easily accessible, you can also just grab a blanket off your couch and roll it up. That'll also do the trick. And either a block, 2 blocks, a book, anything that kind of resembles this, because I'm going to give you a few different options for when we're coming into our shavasana. Now I know for a lot of pregnant women it is uncomfortable for you to lay flat on your back, and that's not something that we're encouraging. So you can either start in a seated shavasana. You can roll over onto one side and then use that arm as your pillow and just rest here. Or the final option is to get a little bit creative with your props. So I'm gonna grab my block. I'm gonna place it at the second highest height. I'm gonna take my pillow, place it on top of my block, so I've got a nice little incline. I'm going to place the base of my spine at the bottom of where that pillow starts, and I'm going to go ahead and lie down. From here, I definitely recommend knees bent, again giving your belly room here. You can also bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Now again, finding whatever is most comfortable for you is going to be key, so take a few moments. And when you finally get to that really comfortable position, whatever that is, start to focus on that breath. Closing your eyes here. Starting to take those nice, long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And just allow yourself to let go. Relaxing your jaw, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Perhaps parting your lips as you unwrinkle your forehead. And just let everything go. As you inhale, feeling your belly rise as it fills up with air. And then with every exhale, drawing your belly button in towards your spine, really grounding yourself into your mat and into the earth. Maybe taking a couple of moments here and just doing a quick body scan. So starting with the right side of your body, just noticing, thinking about how that right shoulder is feeling, going down your right arm, your right side body, your right hip, all the way down your right leg. Just noticing any discomfort, any tightness, not judging, just simply noticing. As we start going up the left side, left ankle, going up your left leg, left hip, left side body, left arm, all the way up into that left shoulder. And then sending the breath to the top of your head. As we stay here in our opening Shavasana for a few more moments, you're more than welcome to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. Whether it's an intention or a mantra that you want to repeat to yourself during our class. Think about something very personal to you. Send your breath to that mantra, to that intention, and allow it to guide you through our practice today. As we go ahead and take 2 more nice big full breaths here in your Shavasana, see if you can make each one even bigger and fuller than the last. After that second breath, we're slowly going to start to bring movement back into our bodies. So gently wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Starting to circle your wrists and your ankles. And gently moving your head from side to side, releasing any tension you might be carrying in your neck. So if you're in a reclined position like me, we need to make sure that we are coming up safely. So the easiest way to do this first is to close your knees if they're still open. You can gently raise whichever arm you'd like up and over your head, and you're slowly gonna roll off of your pillow and roll over onto that side. Rest here for a moment or two, signaling to your body that you're about to come up, and then you can use your other hand to gently push yourself up into a seated position. You may want your pillow and your block later, so just gently placing them over to the side, coming to meet me in our easy pose, which is just a cross-legged pose. If you're noticing any tightness in your neck, we're going to go ahead and turn our head to one side. Coming back to center, turning to the other, and keeping in mind, depending how much baby you have in your belly today, even something like this might be a little bit uncomfortable, so your option is always just to open your legs up, and this is going to give your belly a little bit more space. Otherwise, you can either connect the soles of your feet together or just sit in a cross-legged position. So turning your head to the other side. Coming back to center, gently lifting up, lifting that gaze, looking up towards the sky. Bringing that gaze back to center, and then looking down. Coming back to center, you can gently place your right hand down beside you and slowly just do a nice gentle side bend. If you'd like to go deeper, you can bend that right arm, coming down only as far as your body allows you to go. Just getting a really nice stretch here along your lats. On your next breath, gently coming back to center, you can go ahead and switch sides. Beautiful. Coming back to center, we're going to come into a nice comfortable tabletop. So just gently rolling forward if you can. I'll demonstrate from the side. Making sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, your hips are over your knees. We're going to just go through some gentle cat-cows. It's great for your spine if you're feeling any lower back tightness here. So as you inhale, gently arching your spine, tilting that pelvis up and back as your gaze comes up. And as you exhale, rounding your upper back, looking to where your belly button should be, but you might not quite be able to see it. So looking between your legs. So continuing with this with your own breath. Remembering that you may not be able to go as far in your cat-cow as you used to, and that's okay. We're only doing what our body is going to allow us to do today. So noticing how your hips are feeling. Noticing how the different parts of your back are feeling. And we're going to do a couple more rounds here. When you're ready, just finding stillness in your tabletop. So nice flat back here. I'd like you to go ahead and extend your left leg straight out behind you. Option, you can gently squeeze your glutes, lift that left foot up. Our right arm is going to come up. So just coming into a nice simple balance here, so our pointer pose. Pulling that right shoulder back and down as we hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Simply bringing everything back down, switching sides. Right foot comes out behind you. Option to stay here. Lifting up, toes pointing down as you lift that left arm up. Pulling that left shoulder back and down. Holding nice and strong here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do that again on both sides. So left foot, right arm. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Squeezing your glutes to lift up that leg as high as you can comfortably lift it. Gently release back down. Last one, last side. Seeing if you can find stillness. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Gently coming back. So we're going to come into a child's pose from here. Now there's a couple of options here. Depending on the size of your belly right now, you're definitely going to want to bring those knees wider apart and then only sink back as much as you can. Another option is you can actually take that pillow and I'll use it and rest your head on the pillow. So I'm actually creating space for my belly here because that pillow is lifting me up. So choosing your option. Holding here just for a couple more breaths. Beautiful. Next breath, slowly starting to walk your hands back. If you're using that pillow, once again, gently placing it off to the side. And we're going to meet in our downward facing dog. So you're going to take your time to get there. We're not going to be there for very long. So gently lifting up your hips, remembering that you can have as much of a knee bend as your body needs today. And if your calves are feeling tight, start to pedal out your heels. So bending one knee, then the other. Noticing how your body feels, and then finding stillness here. Spreading your feet apart from your fingers. All 10 fingertips are pressed into your mat. And then look towards your hands. Gently walk your feet up to the top of your mat. On your next inhale, coming up halfway. And then exhale as you gently fold. Now again, keeping in mind, you might not be able to fold very much, so you can widen your stance to give your belly space as you're folding down. So we're gonna do that again. So inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold, always making room for your belly. As you inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, bringing our hands to heart center. So from here, I'd like you to go ahead and step your left foot back. You're gonna pivot onto that left heel, so your left foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. You can go ahead and bend your right knee, so coming just into a nice gentle warrior two, arms can come up. So playing around with your stance, seeing what feels comfortable for you. Making sure we're not twisting here, we're just holding nice and still. You've got lots of room for baby here. On your next breath, flip that right palm, gently exalt your warrior. Nice job. Coming back to your warrior two, we're gonna safely come into our side angle. So that right forearm is gonna come down on that right thigh, and you can simply lift that arm up over your head. Beautiful, keeping that nice bend in your front knee. Great job. From here, go ahead and come back into that warrior two. And we're gonna do a little bit of a magic trick. So go ahead and straighten that front knee. You're gonna pivot onto your right foot, pivot onto your left foot, bend your left knee. You should be in a warrior two on the other side. If you're not, it's okay, pregnancy brain. Just get yourself to the opposite side if you can. Looking down, making sure the heel of your left foot is in line with the midpoint of your right. And you can go ahead and flip your left palm, exalting your warrior. On your next breath, slowly sinking back down into that warrior two, we're gonna come into that side angle again. Left forearm comes down onto your left thigh, and your arm can come up gently, either straight up over your head, or bringing that armpit in, elbow in towards your ear. Whatever is most comfortable for you here. Nice job. One more nice big breath here in your side angle. And then slowly starting to come back into that warrior two. You can go ahead and drop your hands, straighten that front knee once again. You're gonna pivot, so all 10 toes are now facing the front of the room. We're gonna do just a really nice gentle wide leg forward fold. If your hips are feeling tight, you can bring a nice gentle bend into your knees as we just gently come down halfway. Hands can come onto your knees, hands can come onto the ground, hands can come down onto blocks. So whatever is most comfortable for you, we're just trying to release your spine slightly. So this is different from our traditional wide-legged forward fold, where usually we straighten both legs and we sink. Remember, we need to modify. Next breath, you're gonna slowly start to come halfway up, and then slowly coming up the rest of the way. You can heel toe your feet in slightly, and we're gonna come into our goddess pose. So for this, your toes are going to be pointed out on a diagonal. Nice gentle bend in your knee. Get comfortable. So again, hips are going to be tight during pregnancy. We're going to want to make sure that we're doing things that are going to help loosen up your hips. From here, you're going to open up that right arm just gently up to the sky. So remember, we're not twisting, just a gentle side bend here. Beautiful. Next breath, slowly release. Doing the same thing on the other side. Gently coming back down as we hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming up, heel toeing those feet in, gently shaking it out. I'd like you to make sure that you have a block close by, as we're going to be coming down into a modified Malasana squat. So I'm actually going to take that block. You're going to decide what height works best for you, and we're going to be coming down to sit on it. Normally we would do a squat, we would just be holding it. But again, we want to make sure that we are supporting you, we're supporting your belly, we're supporting baby. So have that block handy. Bringing your hands to your heart, essentially straddling that block, slowly going to sink down. So from here, once you sink down into your block, you're going to make sure that we're opening up those hips. If you are not loving the height of the block, you can modify. Decide what's going to work best for you. So if you can start to push your knees out with your elbows. So just a really nice, beautiful hip stretch here. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. This is a great time to go back to that intention or that mantra that you set for yourself earlier. Just enjoy the stillness. Two more nice, big, full breaths here. And after that second breath, you can gently open your eyes. I'd like you to push all 10 toes firmly into your mat because we are about to come up. So slowly rising. You can go ahead, shake it out. You can do like a little hula hoop action from one side to the other. Loosen up your hips slightly here. Great job. Placing that block off to one side, taking that nice wide-legged stance as we inhale to sweep our hands all the way up. And then exhale, folding down as far as you can. As you inhale to come up halfway, I'd like you to exhale, plant your hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Holding here for a few breaths. And then gently dropping your knees down, rolling your hands up, sitting at the front of your mat. We're going to go ahead, loosen up our hips slightly. So planting your heels down, mat distance or wider. Just a gentle windshield wiper here from side to side, only going as far as you can. Remember, we're trying not to twist our stomach here. So maybe for some of us, it just looks like this, and that's okay. We're gonna open up our legs. We're gonna come into a nice wide-legged forward bend like this. So for some of us, this might be where you're staying. If you'd like to go down a little bit further, perhaps grabbing onto your ankles, you can do that. Otherwise, you can go down as far as you'd like. Again, making sure that we've created space by opening up those legs here. So just hinging at your hips. And then slowly starting to roll your spine up. You're going to take your right hand, place it onto either right toes, right ankle, whatever you can reach. And then left arm comes up and over. On your next breath, gently coming back to center, doing the same thing on the other side. Beautiful. Coming back to center. You can gently bring your legs together. So we're going to be coming into our final Shavasana right now. I'd like you to go ahead and decide what props or what materials you need to make this a comfortable Shavasana for you. If you would like to do what we did at the beginning of class, making sure you've grabbed that block, you've grabbed that pillow, and you're slowly lowering yourself down. Remember that doing a seated Shavasana is always an option too. So you're going to decide what works best for you, taking your time to get there, perhaps placing a blanket over your body if that's what feels most comfortable. Palms are facing up to the sky. Closing your eyes and finding your stillness here. One last time, unclenching your jaw, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And just let go. I invite you to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you wish. I only ask that when you do decide to come up, you do so safely, rolling over onto one side first before bringing yourself all the way into a seated position. I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for allowing me to guide you through your prenatal practice today. From the bottom of my heart and from my energy to yours, namaste.